Coffee and convo, y'all. Let's get it. Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building, man. You guys know what time it is. Welcome to the latest installment of Coffee and Convo. I am your host, Graphk Raider, man. Salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history. As always, you guys, get those likes up. That means wipe them feet around here. And also hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed yet. Game day, a lot to talk about today. But before we get there, man, salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history. I see all you guys in the chat. Green Dot Gang is heavy, man. George Manley, Raider Bubba, Big Mo. I see all my guys. Dan Teasier. Come on, man. Shali, One Nation, Nada, James Powers, one. Come on, man. Raider Ryan. If you guys would like to become Green Dot Gang, like my people in the chat, hit the link. It's pinned up top. Once again, it definitely helps us keep the lights on over here at OLV Raiders Network. And also, salute to everybody listening to this on audio side of things over on Spotify and Apple Podcast. As always, you guys have been running those numbers up over there. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate every single one of you guys for getting those numbers up over there on the audio side of things, man. Salute to my guy, DeMarcus Webb. Salute to Jose Toscano, my guy, man. It's always good to see my dog here in the building. Let me know real quick, you guys, where are you watching from? What city? What state? Are you at home? Are you at the family barbecue? Are you at the main chick's house? Are you at the side chick's house? Are you at the side chick's house? Where are you watching this morning? And CGR, I want to ask you, bro, are you going to be at the game next week? Let me know, man. We will be in Indianapolis from Friday to Monday. I'll be out there. Jason Hunter, one of the mob fathers himself, Raider Demon King will be there. Stuart Schweiger, my brother, former Raider, will be there. My brother B will be there. We're about to have some fun. If anyone is out there in the Indianapolis area and going to that game, make sure to DM me, whether it's on Twitter or Instagram, and let me know. I would definitely like to link up with everybody out there in Raider Nation, have a drink, get a coffee, whatever. You already know, man. Let me see. Salute to Rich Mitchell as well. Steel Cage says, at my wife's side chicks side. There you go. Steel Cage. There you go. CGR, we got to tap in, bro. We got to tap in. We got to get a beer and shoot the shit out there in Indianapolis. For show. Straight up. He said, that'd be Fire King, definitely. And salute to my brother Hug D's as well, man. The GOAT, the mod father himself in the building. So I don't know if you guys seen the news that dropped today. You know, there's a specific cornerback that may be available right now, right? And anyone who has watched this channel since, 2022, I think damn near since the inception, damn near. I think we've been around since the COVID, right? 2020, I believe. But 2022, there was a cornerback that I was very, very high on that did not go until the 5th round in that class, and he was picked up by, you know, our new head coach, Pete Carroll. It looks as though he may be available out there in Seattle right now. Tariq High Stakes Woolen. I'm going to share this real quick. Salute to Ian Rappaport. He put this on Twitter this morning. Seahawks star cornerback Devin Witherspoon, with him returning on Thursday, teams are monitoring Pro Bowl cornerback Tariq Woolen as a possible trade target by the deadline. Sources tell the insiders. Woolen's playing time has diminished, and in a contract year, teams believe that he could be available. Look, this makes total sense. Total sense. I've been screaming from the rooftops for a long time now for Spy Tech to go out there and get Tariq Woolen. He's in a contract year. If he comes in and he balls out for the rest of the year, You can extend him, keep him around. He's a Pete guy. Pete drafted him. The measurables. This is literally the prototype cornerback that Pete Carroll likes. And I know that they had their ups and downs, in Seattle. I'm talking Pete and Tariq Woolen. But, in year one, he was a Pro Bowler under Pete Carroll. His rookie season led the league in picks. I believe he was tied with like 6. This guy can use a new place to go out there in Seattle, man. Like right now, he's struggling. Got to keep it a buck. I watched the game this week, and he has struggled in Seattle. It seems as though every year since his rookie year, he's kind of come back down to earth a little bit. They have a phenomenal defense in Seattle. Kobe Bryant, Devin Witherspoon, Love. They have a lot of guys out there. It would make total sense for Seattle to potentially say, hey, you know what? He's going to move on here in the next few months anyways. We might as well try and get something for him. Wouldn't it be funny if Pete took this guy in the 5th round and gave up a 5th round for him? I would do it. I would do it right now. Even with the contract year, I would move a 5th round pick because this guy would clearly come in and be your starter opposite of Eric Stokes. I like Caillou Blue Kelly, you guys. This is no knock to him. I love the story of being the hometown Vegas guy and finding his role in this defense and becoming a starter for us. Great. But this is an upgrade. Tariq Woolen is an upgrade over Caillou Kelly. And he also understands Pete Carroll's defense and what, is needed in that defense. I understand that Patrick Graham has his fingerprints on that defense as well, but this would be a move to make. Simple and plain. And if it doesn't work out, guess what? You parted ways with the late round pick. You can allow him to move on in free agency. But I think right now he needs new surroundings. If he sticks around in Seattle, he's only diminishing, his free agency period next year because once again, he's been struggling in Seattle and they already have, a phenomenal defense out there in Seattle. I got to tip my hat to McDonald and company. They are really putting something together nice out there in Seattle, from the defensive line to the second level of their defense to the DBs. Seattle has been doing some great things out there. They're building that thing the right way. Sam Darnold looks like the same Sam Darnold that was out there in Minnesota, coached under Kevin O'Connell. They got some things rolling in Seattle. This is a roll of the dice, you guys, that I would be willing to make. What do you think, and what would you give up for the likes of cornerback, former Pro Bowl cornerback Tariq Woolen, who is still on a rookie deal, you guys, and we would have to extend him? Let me know. And I'm seeing some people, okay? I don't want to talk about this because I don't even want to throw this into the universe. I've seen a few people, flirt with the idea of moving JPJ for Tariq Woolen, which absolutely makes no sense. He's a 2nd round guy. He's on the 2nd year of his deal. I know that he played, in the Northwest at the collegiate level with the Oregon Ducks. So there may be some Northwest, chemistry there. And, Seattle can always use another O-lineman out there. They do not have one of the better O-lines in football, but I am not moving JPJ. I think we can kill that narrative right now. I don't give a shit how much he may possibly be in the doghouse with Pete Carroll and company. You don't move a talent like JPJ in the 2nd year of his rookie deal. It makes absolutely no sense. And also, we already have limited depth on that O-line anyways. You don't move your 2nd best offensive lineman to go get a cornerback who is going to have to be extended here in the next few months and get his 2nd deal. So I want to kill that narrative, you guys. A lot of people are mentioning JPJ for Tariq Woolen straight up. No. I would give up a 5th round pick. Simple and plain. I think it makes sense. It's Pete's guy. You can start him opposite of Stokes, and then you can have Caillou Blue Kelly and DCam and Porter and those guys be those rotational corners. That when we need them, they're there. But once again, I don't think that Caillou Blue Kelly needs to start right now. I don't think, honestly, Stokes has kind of been a blessing in disguise, but I'm actually kind of shocked by his plays. He's looked, really good out there, and he's been durable at least up to this point. It's week 4. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, so to speak. But this is the kind of move you make if you want to stay in the thick of things in the AFC West. Once again, we're 1-2. Denver's 1-2. The Chiefs are 1-2. Chargers, of course, are 3-0. But this is the kind of move that teams make in order to continue to compete. They continue to use this word, compete. Well, if you want to compete, go get Tariq Woolen. We're already thin at the cornerback position. He'll clearly be another starter for you out there on the boundary. Make the move, Spy Tech. Send a 5th-round pick to Seattle. I know there's going to be other teams that's probably monitoring the situation. Some other teams could definitely use a corner out there in the NFL, but I am definitely, if I'm Pete, I have the GM's number in my phone. I'm making the call. I'm very connected to that organization. Hey, man, what is it going to take for me to get my guy that I got out of the 5th round in that draft class in 2022? So what do you guys think? I would love to make a move for Tariq Woolen. I've been screaming for this for a few years now to bring in Tariq Woolen in Las Vegas. And now with Pete Carroll in the building, I think it makes a ton of sense. Salute to Jermaine. If we don't win convincingly today, Cousin Pete is out of the circle of trust. Salute to my guy, Jermaine Williams. Look, man, I'm not too proud to beg right now, Jermaine. Would I love to have a blowout against the Chicago Bears? I would love to go out in Allegiant Stadium and blow this team out. They're coming off of a great performance against one of the worst defenses in football in Dallas. I'm not expecting Caleb Williams to go out there and do the same thing that he did, carving up that Dallas defense to us today. But we need our defense to be, that bend, don't break defense. Go out there and limit Caleb Williams, limit those opportunities with his legs. Do not allow Caleb Williams to get outside the pocket and create plays with his legs. Make him make mistakes. He's still young, year 2 of his, rookie deal. Make him go out there and make mistakes. I like Caleb Williams. I still believe that he could be a phenomenal quarterback at the NFL level. I think he was the NFC Player of the Week last week. But this is still a guy that if you go out there and put some pressure on him, you can create some turnovers. They have a phenomenal offense with Ben Johnson calling it, DeAndre Swift at the running back position. They have a two-headed monster at the tight end position with Cole Kmet, and Colston Love. I think is it Love? Colston? Always, but he's Colston Loveland. There you go. And I'm a major fan of him, So, and then they also had that 3-headed monster at the wide receiver position with DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, and Luther Burden. So this is going to be a difficult offense to keep in check, but I think we can do it. But I'm not going to be up in arms if we beat this team by 1 point. I'm sorry. I just need a win, you guys. I need a win. I don't care how we get it done. I don't care if it's a Carlson last-second field goal to win the game. I don't care. At this point, I just want to win. It'd be great to see us go out there and put the NFL on notice today and go out there and beat the shit out the Chicago Bears. But once again, I'm not too proud to beg at this point. We've lost back-to-back games in ugly fashion. I just want to win. I just want to get back in the win column and keep up in the AFC West. In a perfect world, we find a way to beat the Bears today. The Chargers end up losing to Jackson Dart, the Giants, which would be great. Give it kind of put us in 1 game back of the Chargers. Hopefully the Chiefs find a way to lose, and the Broncos find a way to lose to Cincinnati at home. That'd be great. In a perfect world, the AFC West, everybody loses but us. But I'm not going to jump the gun here and say that we need to blow this team out. I just want to win this football game, simple and plain. And they have not done enough up to this point to even make me believe that they can go out there and blow out the Chicago Bears. Can it happen? Definitely. We've seen crazier things happen in football year in and year out, but I just want to win. I don't care if we win 21-20. I don't care if we win 24-23. I don't care if it's 31-30. I just want to win this football game because I cannot take another loss right now. Going into Indianapolis next week, they're 3-0, at least up to this point, right? Let's just say they're 4-0. And we're 1-3. In no world do I expect the Raiders to go travel far east and beat the Colts coming off of a nasty loss to the Bears and us at 1-3 and them at 4-0. It just doesn't make any sense. So, but I would love to make this move. Salute to Ian Rappaport putting it out there. It looks as though teams are definitely monitoring former Pro Bowl cornerback Tariq Woolen in a potential trade to bring him in and add him to whatever corner group. I know there's going to be a ton of teams probably calling Seattle. So we need to be one of them for sure. Let me remove that. Stop screen share. Salute to my guy, Mario. What up, Graphk? Who are your X factors for today's game? I want to see a Tyree and or a Kuntz special. This may sound kind of crazy, but I mean, the O-line, Mario, they need to be able to block up front, especially, run blocking in today's game. We need Ashton Jeanty to get rolling. We need him to get rolling. If any game would be the game to correct, all these problems that we've had on the O-line and running the football, Today is the day. The Chicago defense is not great by any means. They're damn near at the bottom of the list of every category on the defensive side of football outside of third down defense. I think they're one of the better third down defenses in football right now. But the O-line needs to come out and show up and show out. Simple and plain. This needs to be a Genty special, Mario. I definitely agree with you. I think we need one of those other edge rushers to show up and show out for us, whether it's Tyree Kuntz, if Snowden's active, if it's Brennan Jackson. I don't really care who it is. We definitely need somebody opposite of Max to go out there and apply pressure on that Chicago O-line. But the X factor today, it starts up front in the trenches offensively. The O-line needs to block. They need to keep Geno. That defensive line is not great by Chicago. They're one of the bottom teams in the sacks department. Pause if necessary. They're, I believe, the lowest. They have the lowest blitz rate in football, I believe, at this point. And I think they only have 5 sacks on the entire season. And 2 of those came last week against Dak and that struggling Dallas Cowboys team. So you got to take advantage of that. The offensive line needs a big game for their confidence, for momentum moving forward. I'm hoping that JPJ, Pete alluded to the fact that JPJ and Alex Kappa would play today. So I don't know if he's going to be using them, just kind of rotating in and out. Kappa has been absolutely terrible these last few weeks. I don't understand why the hell he would even be an option to play at right guard. So I don't know if they think if Pete is playing mind games here. He said that they weren't going to switch things up, but I did see him speaking out there to Parham a little bit. Parham has also struggled. It's going to be interesting to see if maybe JPJ gets some looks at left guard, right guard. If he wants to keep Kappa and JPJ, I don't know how you expect some camaraderie on that O-line if you're playing Kappa and JPJ at right guard. I don't know how you expect them to build chemistry on that O-line, rotating those guys in and out of the right guard spot. Pick one, move on. You know what I mean? But he did allude to the fact that they're both going to play. So that was an interesting quote. I don't know what that means or what that entails in terms of, are they both going to start together, or are they going to take Parham off the football field and maybe have JPJ at left guard and Kappa at right guard? We shall see. I know that Pete Carroll and company are definitely over answering questions about JPJ. And, hey, you're going to keep hearing it, Pete Carroll, because guess what? You continue to have one of your better football players off the field. He's healthy. He's cleared concussion protocol. There's no reason why JPJ should not be out there on the football field. But I don't know. He did state that they're both going to play today. You guys, something to monitor. Maybe they will both be out there at the guard spots. I don't know. In a perfect world, if I'm Pete Carroll, I'm taking Cap off the football field completely. I'm putting Parham on the right side where he was, a lot better last year with the Raiders, and then put JPJ on the left side over with Colton Miller and run the football all day, every day to the left side. Mario, other than that, man, I can throw another one out there. Maybe keep a spy on Caleb Williams. This may be another Jamal Adams special. Maybe you have him monitor the young pup, keep him in check, try to keep him in the pocket as much as possible. Keep him from extending plays with his legs. Maybe that would be an X factor as well, putting one of those guys as a spy and keeping Caleb Williams in check. So the offensive line, this has to be a Genty special today, you guys. We have to run the football, man. I want to see Ashton Genty get another touchdown at the Legion Stadium. I do. I want to see him score today. This needs to be an Ashton Genty special. I want to see 100 yards. I want to see a touchdown or two from our guy. And, I would love to see maybe Raheem Mostert active. Maybe you give him Zamir White's reps. That'd be fun. But, we'll see. My little bro, Brendan, says Devin White should be tasked with that, in my opinion. I don't care who it is. You know what I mean? That'd be great. All I'm saying is, Brendan, Jamal Adams has struggled in coverage and recently in his career, but he's a safety. He's a safety and at heart by trade. And, I think that he would probably be the best option for us to monitor Caleb Williams. I like Devin White. He struggled last week mightily, but I would probably run with the 29-year-old Jamal Adams in terms of a spy. But, we'll see. Hug, my dog, man. Yo, we've seen 3 games this season, and Graphk already has 182 new gray hairs in the beard. Our boy is stressing. What's so crazy is I got this cut yesterday. He went in there and he usually, cuts out as much grays as he can. Them shits is just growing. It's just a wildfire at this point. Hug D. Like, it's nasty work. It's nasty work. Salute to my brother Hug. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed yet, what are y'all waiting on? Make sure to hit that subscribe button and also get those likes up, you guys. Keep us in the algorithm. Make sure to wipe them feet. Those likes mean a lot on YouTube. The algorithm has been weird on YouTube lately, like all over the place in terms of hip-hop podcasts and whatever you watch on YouTube. The algorithm has been algorithm. It's been really, really weird in terms of views up and down with a lot of people across the board. So get those likes up. Keep us in the algorithm. He said, Graphk may need another EKG by mid-afternoon. Don't put that on me 1 and 2. Come on, man. Come on. Calm down. Salute to Skino. We got to get Genty involved in the passing game. This is facts. Facts, my brother. Facts plus tax. Definitely got to find a way to get him open in space. Find him in the flats a few times. Get him involved in the screen game. Whatever you can do to find any type of advantage getting Genty in space, you have to do it today. This is a major game, you guys. This is a must-win, baby. It's not just win, baby. This is a must-win, baby. Today, we have to win this football game. This is really, really big, in terms of momentum moving forward, kind of hitting that soft spot of your schedule, but also your guys, Max Crosby and, your leaders, that they're hearing and they're seeing everything online. I don't care what anybody says. It definitely gets under their skin. And also, man, a win right now would do a lot for Genty's confidence moving forward, for Gino, and even the young guys. I would love to see Brock get active today. I want to see a Brock Bowers game, not just dealing with a knee injury and kind of out there 30 yards, 40 yards receiving. I would love to see a Brock Bowers special today. That would be great. And, the injury report was out there, you guys. We know that there's only one player out for us today. Cam Richardson is questionable with the hamstring injury. I'm expecting him to probably play today, probably get a ton of special teams reps. I don't know if he'll be out there getting any reps at the corner spot. But with Michael Mayer officially out with a concussion, this would be an interesting game to get our guy, Brock Bowers, heavily involved in the offense. And also, we did make a few moves yesterday, you guys. We brought up 2 tight ends, which is very interesting because Brock is still on the roster on the 53-man. Ian Thomas, the veteran tight end, is on the active 53-man roster. But we brought up Albert O, and we also brought up the rookie UDFA tight end Carter Runyon, who had a really good preseason for us. So we have 4 active, tight ends active right now on this roster today. Maybe a ton of 12 personnel, maybe a ton of 13. Maybe we got 3 tight ends out there and we get that offense rolling, that way. Or maybe Carter Runyon and Albert O are going to be heavily involved in the blocking game today. But it's very interesting to see that we elevated 2 tight ends, not just one, to take up, to make up for Michael Mayer's absence, but we brought up 2, Albert O and Carter Runyon. They were both elevated from the practice squad. So it's going to be interesting to see if we see a ton of 12 personnel or if we see a ton of 13 personnel out there today, which would be great. Carve up that Chicago, beat that Chicago defense down, beat them to smithereens, bro. Straight up. Yeah, I used the word smithereens. And I think I said it wrong. Smithereens. I use that word. Salute to my guy, Jermaine. 2-part question. Lincoln Kennedy said it's the spacing on the O. Your thoughts, and do you think us as Raider fans think too highly of our players? I think, Jermaine, we always do every year. And I don't think that it's just us. I think that's fans across the board. That's funny, man. My boy. Look who's calling me. Hondo. Hold on real quick, y'all. Uncle Hondo. What's going on, brother? I'm good, brother. I'm actually live right now. But no. But hey, thank you for that. That means a lot to me. And I was definitely going to call in and check in with you soon too. It's crazy. I literally just mentioned you to my wife a few days ago. So I'll give you a call after this live and let's catch up. Yeah, if you ever want me on, I'm ready. Thank you, brother. Definitely. All right. Salute to Hondo, man. Salute to my guy Hondo. Your thoughts, and do you think of us Raider fans think too highly? Okay, let me get back to that. Yes, I do believe that. I think that I think NFL fans as a whole kind of over, dramatize some of these guys. Like, I watched our fan base completely crumble, allowing Trayvon Merrick to go to Carolina and get that major bag. I watched, the fan base completely kill John Spytek, for not matching that crazy Robert Spillane deal that he got in New England. You know what I mean? So yes, I do believe that sometimes we think too highly of our players, but there's some guys, on this roster that I believe that, I think we should think a little bit more highly of. Some of these guys, we definitely undervalue them, but I definitely think that we think a lot way too highly with some of these guys. But it is spacing. Link is definitely correct. Link is definitely correct for sure. You got to find Genty in space. You got to get Dylan, get Juicebox open in space. You have to find ways to get your players, some wiggle room where they're not just getting the football and instantly contact. I mean, Link is definitely spot on with that take. Definitely. But I definitely think that we really overvalue some of these guys for sure. But there are certain players where I'm high on that maybe some aren't. I'm very high on JPJ. And you guys see that. It's clear. I think when he's healthy, God forbid he gets another concussion, but when he's healthy, he's one of our better football players on this team. Does he need to get better in terms of discipline? Yes, we cannot have him continue to go out there and get penalty after penalty after penalty. But I think that some people in the fan base undervalue him. A lot of people think I overvalue him, which is okay. That's cool. We all, have a difference of opinions. But yeah, man. Link is definitely spot on with that. Definitely the spacing in terms of the O-line, finding, being able to find your guys, Genty and those guys, your playmakers in space. It's been rough up to this point. Hopefully they can find a way, to get it done today. So let me catch up real quick on the chat, you guys. My apologies. Uncle Hondo called, man, and kind of threw a loop through my thought process. Salute to Hondo. Jason, hope y'all have a blessed day. Let's get this dub today. Salute to my brother, Jason Hunter. Me and him were texting all day yesterday. We watched our Notre Dame Fighting Irish go out there and absolutely obliterate the Arkansas Razorbacks. I love it. We was talking big shit yesterday. Hopefully Carr, Love, and Price can continue with that momentum and not lose another game and find a way to get into the playoffs. That defense still needs to clean it up, though. They got to clean it up, man. Notre Dame is known for their defense. Freeman is a defensive-minded guy. We got to get that defense together, man, because I'm tired of watching these teams carve us up on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah, Arkansas only had 13 points, but they shouldn't even have had that. Nasty work. Salute to my guy, Larry DM. I don't get the hate on Chip. He cannot run his offense if the guys can't block. This is facts. And I've said that up to this point, Larry. Does Chip deserve some of the blame? Definitely. Having Dylan in at the running back position in third and short situations. Why don't you have Ashton Genty, the guy that you just used the number 6 pick in the first round on? Makes no sense for Chip to have him out there. Zamir White getting whole drives at the running back position. Why is he out there for an entire drive at the running back position? Chip definitely deserves some blame out there. I'm not going to put Chip up on some pedestal and act as though he doesn't deserve any of the blame with the struggles with this offense. But I don't think that we've gotten an opportunity, honestly, to see what this offense looks like yet because of the O-line not being able to block and us being able to get the run game going. Chip leans on the ground game. He did it at Ohio State. He's done it everywhere. He has that old school mentality, that old school approach. They lean on the run game. If you can't get the run game going, you're one-dimensional and defenses can pick you apart. That O-line, it starts up front. They have to be able to block in order for us to get this shit rolling. So, no, but Larry, I hear you, brother. I don't even know what Chip's system really looks like yet. I don't think we will get a chance to see it until the O-line finally decides to block up front. We can get Genty rolling. Man, we got the wrenches in the building. Salute to my brother Andy, man. Always good to see little bro here in the building. Looks like I'm going to win our bet about Drew Allar and not going in the top 5 of the draft. You said, looks like I'm going to win our bet about Drew Allar not going? Man, come on, man. Bro, Andy, he's going to go top 5 just because of the measurable standpoint. He's like 6'5", 6'6". He has crazy arm strength. Yeah, he struggles here and there, with accuracy and certain things like that. I don't know what the score is with Penn State. I'm assuming that he's probably out there looking like shit right now. But measurables alone, there's going to be a team that's going to draft him very early because they're going to think we can unlock his full potential. So he's a top 5 guy. He could potentially be the number 1 draft pick in next year's class. Real talk. I like Drew Allar. I'm still a Sellers guy out of South Carolina. If he's available, I'm taking him, and I'll sit him behind Geno for a year or two and allow him to learn. That's the guy that I want at our quarterback is Sellers out of South Carolina. He's too athletic. He is a guy that fits the mold of what these running quarterbacks, these dual threat guys are in today's world. I would love to bring in Sellers to have that athletic, that athletic quarterback, that can get loose and use his legs, but also use his arm, but I like Drew Allar. And if he ended up being a Raider, I would be ecstatic. A lot of people compare him to Josh Allen. There's a long ways to go for you to get to that type of stature. But I understand because of the similarities in build, and he definitely has a ton of arm strength out there. Drew Allar at Penn State's a dog. He's a dog. Let me see. Get some questions in, you guys. Once again, salute to everybody here in the building. As always, we went over the injury report on our side of things. Brock will play. Jeremy Chin will play. Michael Mayer is out with the concussion that he sustained against the Commanders. D-Cam is questionable, so I'm expecting him to potentially, if he is good to go, get a ton of reps at the special team spot. I don't know if they're going to throw him out there today at the cornerback position. Expect Porter to get more reps at the corner position. They've been slowly bringing him up. He was out there a ton last week. Expect Porter to get a ton of reps at the cornerback position. With the Bears, you guys, big news. Linebacker TJ Edwards, a few years ago, he was like the big free agent acquisition that they got out there in Chicago. He is out. He did not participate all week long in practice, hamstring issue. Grady Jarrett, the ageless defensive tackle wonder, just came over from the Atlanta Falcons, has a knee injury. He did not practice all week. He is officially out. Big news on the offensive line front. Darnell Wright, the young tackle, dealing with an elbow injury, did not participate at all week long. He is out. And then there's some questionable players as well. Kyler Gordon dealing with the hamstring. He did not participate at all up until Friday, where he was limited. He's questionable. This is a big one. Colston Loveland, tight end, rookie, dealing with a hip injury. He did not participate until Friday. Either he was limited, he is questionable. So that is a big one. And then also DeAndre Swift, both of them, him and Colston Loveland, dealing with the hip injuries. I expect him to play. He was limited all week long. He is questionable. I'm assuming that their number 1 running back will be playing today. Outside of that, DeMarco Jackson, hamstring, full go. Jalen Johnson, hamstring issue, was limited up until Friday. He is good to go. And then Cole Kmet, he is good to go as well, dealing with a groin injury. He was a full participant Thursday and Friday. So there goes your updated injury report, you guys. And we will keep eyes also on the actives and inactives today. It's going to be interesting to see if they bring up J.J. Pegues or Tonka Hemingway. If they have these guys active, potentially Charles Snowden. We shall see, but they have not dropped that news just yet. And we'll talk about that during the watch party live. Me and Hammer will be live, I believe, 30 minutes prior to the game. So we'll go over the inactives before the game starts. So let me see. Let me catch up on these. I think I have a few supers that I need to catch up on as well. Salute to my guy, Raider Pace. These coaches have been doing this a long time, and I honestly don't think they can figure this out. Chris Carson averaged 5 yards a carry under Brennan's O-line. I see us trading for or signing a lineman. I would love it. I think we need to go bring in a lineman, but I don't think that they will, though, Pace. With Carroll stating that, they're going to run. They've invested so much time in the offseason and blah, blah, blah on what they have at the O-line position right now. I don't think that they'd go out there and make a move. Could I see it? Let me see this. Would I want to see it? Yes. Do I see it happening? No. They have players that they can just kind of crisscross and make this offensive line better now as it is. You know what I mean? Like a simple fix of swapping Parham, putting JPJ at the left side. Maybe if you want some size at right tackle, maybe you bring up Wagner and you move, DJ Glaze to right guard, and you got some size there on the right side. You can flip-flop a few of these guys that you already have on this roster right now, and the O-line will probably improve. Once again, it sounds like Pete is stuck in his ways right now. They're going to continue to run with what they have. But keep an eye today, Pace, like I said earlier on the show, to hear him say that JPJ and Alex Kappa are going to play today, I'm keeping an eye on that one thought that Pete Carroll threw out there, that one sentence, because maybe you see a different line today. I don't think that with him preaching camaraderie and having them continue, continuity on that O-line. I don't think it would make any sense. That was the word I was looking for, continuity. I don't think it would make any sense for JPJ and Alex Kappa to continue to swap out at right guard all day long. I don't think it makes any sense. If you want continuity, you need to continue to have one of those guys on that side. And if you're going to move one, then it's got to be JPJ to the left side. That's something that I'm keeping an eye on. Salute to my guy Pace. I appreciate you on that $10 smackaroonie, my brother. Salute to you, man. And salute to the 600 plus people here in the building. Much love, you guys. Hit the like, and also hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed yet. And for those who are just joining the show, me and Hammer will be doing the play-by-play today. So stay tuned. We will be live the entire game. We'll try and do the presser afterwards as well. So stay tuned. It's going to be an action-packed day in terms of content. And then back tomorrow, Monday for Victory Monday or Hangover Monday, however this shit turns out. And then the AFC West show on Tuesday. And then I think I'll take a break for a few days before I get to Indianapolis to go meet up with Stu and everybody for the game. So action-packed these next 3 or 4 days, you guys. So stay tuned. A lot of content to watch for. Ira, my brother, man. Always good to see Ira Jackson in the building. Graphk, would have been a good idea to let Chip bring O-line coach with him when the Raiders signed him. Definitely. I mean, this is the thing. You make him the highest paid offensive coordinator in football. You pay him $6 million per, right? Maybe you give him a little, hey man, who would you like up there to coach up your front, your offensive line? Who would you like to have come in and coach up your trenches side of things on the offensive side of the football? But look, man, I think the writing was on the wall when Pete came in. I think that everybody assumed that Brendan Carroll, it was going to happen. Nepotism at its finest. It was like, yo, there's a guy out there that can come in and, and serve his father as the head coach and be the OC. And, I don't know. But I'll say this, Ira. I don't think anybody right now would be able to coach up these guys. I just don't think that they're really that good of an O-line. I think that you can switch some things up with the existing O-line and we'll have a better O-line, a middle of the pack, maybe tops at 12, somewhere in that 12 to 15 range, if you make a few swaps and make a few changes with what you have right now. But if you're going to continue to run with what you have, I expect Brendan Carroll to struggle out there as the offensive line coach. I don't think him or Philbin can honestly do anything much better with what we have out there as that starting five in that O-line. I don't know what else you can expect. And the thing is this, you guys, this Chicago defensive line has struggled. Once again, low blitz rate. They've only gotten to the quarterback 5 times this year. The O-line, I'm sorry, and I may sound very pessimistic here, but if they have a good game today, don't be sold on the fact, you guys, that, oh man, they're getting better. No, I need to see that constantly. I need to see that continue through Indianapolis and, the Browns with Myles Garrett and a few of those other teams that are coming up on the menu here soon. I'm not going to be sold on, oh, they had a good game today, they're figuring it out. No, I need to see them do that against defensive lines that we've already faced, like the Chargers, who have Khalil Mack, even though he went out, with that, was it elbow injury, I believe, or whatever. But we need to show that we can do this against some of the better defensive lines in football. We made the Commanders' defensive line look like the 85 Bears. 5 sacks on Geno. That's just nasty, nasty work. So I don't know, man. I really don't know. Salute to my guy, Ira. Top, man, my guys in the building. Seriously, Graphk, Philbin can restore the O-line to what we had last year? What last year? I said this a million times, Top, and this is no disrespect to the other organizations or what we had out there last year. Yes, Philbin did restore the O-line when we got rid of our former offensive line coach, right? I get that. But the thing was, Parham was on the right side, JPJ was on the left side. And the last opponents that we faced, Top, at the end of the season, think about this. Atlanta, Jacksonville, the Saints. Most of these teams were just fighting for a better draft pick at the end of the season. And then the Chargers, who were in the playoffs the last week of the season. So, I mean, I'm not going to put too much stock into the fact that the O-line got a lot better at the end of the season. A lot of it did depend on Colton Miller getting healthy and getting stronger, coming off that shoulder injury, which he did, and that definitely improved the O-line. But honestly, we played against some terrible football teams at the end of the year. New Orleans didn't want to win those games. Jacksonville didn't want to win those games. They're better off where they are now, with some of those draft picks they got. Jacksonville was up right now. They went and got Trav, and, Atlanta went and got a defensive lineman, but we played some pretty bad teams at the end of the season. Is Philbin a better option? I don't even know what kind of power he has right now. I don't know if he truly is our offensive line coach over Brendan Carroll right now, because Philbin is up there in the booth right next to Chip Kelly. So I don't know, what that looks like. Toby says no QB though. It doesn't matter. I mean, bro, it really truly, what does that mean? What does that mean? No QB, bro. I've seen us win games with Aiden O'Connell. I see this beat the Baltimore Ravens with Booger Picker. We faced some really terrible teams at the end of the season. I don't really, once again, man, I'm not putting too much stock into what they did last year at the end of the year with Philbin taking over and the O-line getting better. I'm just not putting too much stock into it at all. Let me see. Genty special today. He needs a bill on the ground. This is facts, man. I'm tired of saying this VB over and over and over, bro. Every week I continue to say the same shit. The Genty special, the Genty special. This is the week that it has to actually come to fruition. Like real talk. If we can't get it done against the Chicago defense today, I'm very much so worried about Ashton Genty in his rookie season. Honestly, I know it's only the first quarter of the season. Once this game is up, 4 games into the season, it's not over yet. But I'm not worried about Ashton Genty yet. If we can't get it rolling today, I'm very much so worried. And last week he started to kind of get the wheels turning a little bit. I think he had 17 carries with 60 yards on the ground. This is the week that he has to at least put up an 80 piece and get a touchdown. Simple and plain. And you know what? I would like to see some goal line situations. Can we get some goal line? Can we get in the red zone? Can we get some goal line situations today? Can we put ourselves in a position to score a ton today against this struggling Chicago defense? I would like to see Geno and company get in the red zone a few times. Is that too much to ask for? Is that too much to ask for? I would like to, be at the goal line a few times and say, oh shit, we may see Genty score here. Is that too much to ask for? Can we get at least a few of them? Can we get 2 or 3 goal line looks today? I would like that. I don't want to have to depend on Geno throwing 30 or 40-yard bombs to get into the end zone. I would prefer to be able to, maybe kill a little bit more clock, a little game management, and then getting these goal line spots where you can hand the rock off to your number 1 running back in Ashton Genty. I would like that. I don't want to have to depend on Geno throwing 40, 50-yard darts to Tucker to score. I would just like to potentially get a few red zone looks and some few goal line situations, if possible. Chip, if you can hear me, would love that. Yeah, Top, exactly. I want to see that offense that looked like that first drive, Top, against New England, that first scripted drive that Chip Kelly put that offense out there where we were all sold, we're sold. And then it came back down, the rest of the first quarter and second quarter. And then they kind of lightened back up in the second half against the New England Patriots. I would like to see that first drive on a constant basis. Can we see that? And who was it who put it out there that the Raiders are struggling because we don't have a number 1 receiver? Can you guys enlighten me real quick? I seen this on Twitter. There's a former Raider guy. I mean, not former Raider guy, but it was just a former football player, former NFL guy. I forgot who it was. I know somebody in the comment section to have this answer for me. I wasn't on, Twitter and X and all that too much yesterday. So, but I just briefly seen somebody state something along the lines of, okay, was it MJD? Okay, Eric, it was MJD. So former Raider, Bay Area guy. And he's the one that consistently picks the Raiders week in and week out to win these football games, which is, salute to you. I love it. But that makes absolutely no sense. So we can't run the football because we don't have a number 1 receiver. Huh. So MJD, last year where we had Devontae Adams and we couldn't run the football. Does that make any sense? We have Brock Bowers. He's been injured these past few weeks. Not expecting to have a 100% Brock Bowers right now. But we have a plethora of weapons. I've seen Kansas City once again. They do have Patrick Mahomes. So take this with a grain of salt. But I've seen him win Super Bowls with not a number one option at the wide receiver position. I thought that was the weirdest take in the world. We're struggling to run the football because we don't have a number one receiver. When we have a plethora of options out there. Mayer, he's out right now, but he's a really good option in the passing game. Why don't you get Besh involved? That technically Jack Besh should be your number one receiver here soon. You took him in the second round. Honestly, that should be your number one receiver here soon. Jacoby is a high-end wide receiver too, a low-end borderline wide receiver one. So, and then you have, once again, like I said, the best tight end in the football in Brock Bowers. That makes no sense. MJD, I think you need to clean up your basement a little bit, or your attic. My apologies. I need to clean mine up. Clean up your attic a little bit. Clean up those thoughts. We have a plethora of weapons right now. It has nothing to do with our receivers. Geno is honestly number 2 or number 3 in passing yards in football right now. He's not really having a problem throwing it all over the place. Yeah, some of that came in garbage time. I understand that. But what are we talking about? What are we talking about? The number one receiver, bro. Like, we're not running the football right now because our offensive line stinks. And when Ashton Jeanty gets the football, he already has 2 or 3 defenders already in the backfield ready to smother him. That's why we're struggling on the offensive side of the ball. So let's stop that. Let's stop that. Salute to my guy, Mike Downs, man. Docs, my patience is wearing thin with this organization. 43 years. I want results, not hype bullshit from the team itself. I hear you, my brother. Salute to my guy, Mike Downs. I definitely hear you, bro. My patience is at a all-time low right now. But also, once again, I wasn't the most optimistic coming into this season. I wasn't. I wasn't coming into this season expecting the Raiders to go out there and completely take over the league and do this and do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's year one with Geno in the mix. It's year one with Chip Kelly calling the yo. It's year one with Pete Carroll. I wasn't expecting this team to come in and just take over the league. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, my patience is definitely wearing thin. But once again, my expectations weren't that high this year. I just want to get back to that 500 rank. I want to be able to hover somewhere around there. 8-9 this year, and I'm like, okay, we're on the road to getting right. 9-8, I'm like, oh shit, like, we have more wins than losses. 10-7, I'm like, okay, we're really righting the ship right now. But I was expecting to hover somewhere around that 8 to 10 range. My expectations weren't that high, this season. So it is what it is. Salute to my guy, Hug Dizzle, gifting 5 OLV Raiders Network membership. Salute to my brother, the GOAT himself. Salute to all the new members here in the building because of my guy, Hug. Man, if you guys missed out on those 5, definitely hit the link. It's pinned up top. Once again, it definitely helps us keep the lights on over here at OLV Raiders Network. Salute to Jermaine, my guy. Real talk, our line struggled since JJ. We should have drafted the first line first these last couple of years. Hey, man. Definitely, the O-line has not been great these past few years, for sure. I definitely hear you on that. They've been serviceable, but, JJ was an all-pro and led the league in rushing yards a few years ago behind one of the, kind of offensive lines. But this one, this is just different, Jermaine. This is different. This O-line is a lot worse than these last few recent years. It just is. It is. And once again, I'm not going to beat up on Spytech because also the free agency market was bare. The draft class wasn't that great outside of, the first round, second round. Very questionable in the second round. I love Jack Besh, but I thought that he would be available there in the third. I thought maybe you could have got a lineman or a corner there in the second round. We moved back a few times, and I thought maybe, okay, they're going to get their lineman here. Then they waited a little longer and got Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant out of William and Mary. But this is not the same O-line. JJ had at least a serviceable O-line. I think that, and I know that sounds crazy, right, when you got the likes of Greg Van Rotten and Jermaine Illuminor and shit like that. But these guys are just struggling right now. They're struggling. Let me see. Mega says, Graphk, name a wide receiver on our roster that commands a double team. His name is Brock Bowers. And I don't want to hear he's technically not a wide receiver. Yes, he is. He's the clear-cut guy that commands 2 or 3 defenders on him. We knew when we drafted him at 13 with Tom Telesco, you weren't drafting him to be your tight end. You already had Michael Mayer on the roster. He is a weapon. This is not, he's the tight end. And no, bro. He is a weapon in the passing game. He is not just a tight end. This guy is a receiver. He is a slot guy. He's a boundary guy. He's a tight end. You know, he can line him up in the backfield. He is a weapon. So that is the guy that commands double and triple teams. It's Brock Bowers. Salute to my guy, Steel Cage, man. Put Glaze at right guard, Forsythe or Grant at right tackle. Let me say this. Forsythe stinks. I don't want to see him out there at all. It'd be interesting to see Charles Grant, but once again, Pete said that they're not ready yet, him and Caleb Rogers, so it seems like he's going to be really, really patient, kind of redshirt them their rookie year. If you're going to go Glaze at right guard, bring in Dalton Wagner. Bring in the 6'9", 6'10" former Arkansas Razorback. I'd rather see him at right tackle than Forsythe. Stone Forsythe stinks, Steel Cage. I'm telling you now, bro. He is one of the worst O-linemen in football. I do not want to see him on the football field. He's gotten a few reps. You know, I don't want to see him out there as a starter, especially. I do not want to see him. He is stunk since coming into the NFL. So if you want to make a change at right tackle, Dalton Wagner's sitting right there in your face waiting. You know, if you want to make that move, if you want to get a little bigger on that O-line, Dalton Wagner is a mammoth of a man. Put him at right tackle, put Glaze at right guard, and then, JPJ at left guard with Jordan Meredith, because it sounds like they're stuck on, Meredith staying at the center position, which is cool. If that's the way you want to go about it, that's the way you want to go about it. But you may want to makeshift that right side and throw JPJ over with Colton Miller. Help him out too. Colton is struggling in run blocking right now because he has Parham, who absolutely has shit the bed every single week up to this point this year. You can't expect Colton Miller to be great in the run game when he has a guard next to him that is absolutely shit the bed, who just stinks. So, but salute to my guy, Steel Cage, man. Let me see. Dan says, S-Dot and Sanjit can fix this whole line. Look, man. See, love my guy S-Dot, but he wants to see Stone Forsythe start. I feel the total opposite. I don't want to see anything close to Stone Forsythe being out there starting. I just don't want to see it. I don't want to see it at all. Let me see. It's literally the execution. You can't say we don't have the coaches. I mean, do we? What has Brendan Carroll done up to this point? Honestly, I'm talking about just what he's done completely with his resume. Philbin, he's been around for a long time. I definitely respect Joe Philbin in his football mind. But I agree with you, Josh, in the sense of the players have to execute. They have to do what is asked of them. And maybe today they kind of just simplify things. Maybe they simplify things. Maybe it's been too, complex up front. I don't know. Maybe they just say, you know what, let's simplify things up front today. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just been a lot for those guys, a learning curve for those guys up front. I don't know, man. It's a must-win game. If they don't win, this coaching staff will feel the wrath of Raider Nation. This is facts. They're already feeling it right now, Paper Chase. They're already feeling it, brother. And I think they're going to feel it even more today, when those Chicago Bears fans just invade Allegiant Stadium and they take over. This is going to be the first game where Coach Pete Carroll and company are going to actually see what we mean by not having home field advantage. Trust me, you guys. They're going to feel the wrath today when those Bears fans who travel well go out there and completely take over Allegiant Stadium. I expect it to be a 70-30, at the bare minimum 60-40 Chicago Bears. Honestly. Jeremiah says, I like Sanjit's idea of putting Grant next to Miller. Okay. I haven't watched. I didn't see that video. So it would tremendously help his development and put him at right tackle next year. Okay. Interesting. Look, Jeremiah, I'm up for anything That's not what we have right now, the current product. I'm for, if I just see these guys go out there and make a change, a tweak here and there, at least it shows me that they care. You know what I mean? If it's Grant at left guard, great. Hey man, let's see if it works. If it's Wags at right tackle, great. Let's see if this works. If it's Glaze going to right guard, great. Let's see if this thing works. I just want to see that they actually give a fuck and that they care. If they go out there and shit the bed and lay an egg again today and make this Chicago defensive line look like the 85 Bears, and then they continue to stick with this shit, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. I repeat, you guys, if they throw the same product out there today and they shit the bed against this lowly defensive line that Chicago has out there right now, and they do it again and they throw them out there next week against the Indianapolis Colts on the road, it's going to be a problem. I just want to see some tweaks, see some changes, show that you actually care, show the fan base that you're trying to fix the current product. That's it. You know, that's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for these guys to go out there and become the best O-line in football overnight. I'm not asking that. I'm just expecting them to get better. And since week one, they've gotten worse. They looked better in New England. Shit, they looked better against the Chargers. They looked terrible against the Commanders, but like they've slowly gotten worse every week. New England, good. Chargers, bad. Commanders, terrible. And if they look like dog shit today and they roll out that same product against the Colts next week, we are going to have a problem. This fan base is going to be screaming to get rid of Pete Carroll. I'm telling y'all that now. I'm not one of them. I'm not going to say fire Pete Carroll. You know, I'm not going to do it. Once again, it's the first quarter of the season. But if we do this again where they struggle this week and we go 1-3 and then we go on the road and get blown out with the same O-line and we're 1-4, there's going to be an issue. I'm telling you now, the fan base is definitely going to turn on everybody. Everybody. I've seen it. I've been doing this for 5 years now. I've watched our fan base, including myself, say, get rid of this guy, get rid of this guy, get rid of this guy. Because we're just tired of losing, man. We're tired of losing. We're tired of losing. And the crazy thing is, man, you know, those second half adjustments, you know, against New England were great. Like if you can do that, why can't you adjust what's going on in that O-line? Like you've made some second half adjustments where I'm like, okay, maybe this thing is going to change. Maybe we are getting this thing right. If you can do the same thing you did against New England, those second half adjustments and change up this O-line and figure it out, then maybe just give us something to believe in, Pete. That's all I'm asking. Just give us something to believe in. That's it. Give us something to believe in. So Demando, he said, I'm not going to turn on you, Graphk, with that content. Salute to my guy, man. Appreciate you. And CGR just says, I want to be competitive. This is it. This is all we asked for, CGR, this year was be competitive. That's it. Literally, the motto is compete. Just be competitive. Go out there. If you're going to lose to the Chargers, keep it close. If you're going to lose to the Commanders on the road without Jaden Daniels and Eckler, make it close. Be competitive. These last 2 weeks have been embarrassing. As a fan, I'm embarrassed of what the product that they put on the football field these last 2 weeks. It's nasty, especially coming off of a win on the road week one against the New England Patriots. It's just nasty. Salute to my guy, Rube. Cover 3 defense, but ranked 30th in letting up deep passes. That's horrific. Base principle is to take away the deep balls. Pause. Snowden needs more PT. Kuntz isn't going to get it done. Snowden made plays last year. Snowden definitely made some plays for us last year. Kind of forced in as a starter because of all the injuries that we had. Max, out, for a crazy amount of time. Kuntz out for the season. Snowden definitely showed up for us at the defensive end position. So I agree with you. And Kuntz is clear cut, you guys, that he is still trying to overcome all those obstacles, get over those hurdles of having that devastating knee injury. It's clear that he is not ready yet. He's not. Yeah. I think he had a sack in week 1, I believe. But outside of that, it's just not been great watching Malcolm Kuntz play football. It's clear that he's still trying to get over that injury. And I think a lot of us had really, really high expectations for him, not really realizing that it is tough to overcome that kind of injury in year 1. Usually it takes, these guys to go a year, get adjusted, and then the following season, they'll get back to that form that they were once at. You know what I mean? So, but we'll see. Salute to my guy, Rube, though, man. Appreciate you, brother. And yes, man, this is the thing. It's those lapses, Rube. That's the shit that kills me. It's the Max dropping in coverage and giving up, what was it, a 60-yard touchdown to Quentin Johnston? It's the moment in the lapses in judgment that allows Scary Terry to get to the 1-yard line on a big, 60-yard game. It's the big plays, Rube, that we've been giving up. Those are the ones that have absolutely just killed the momentum that the defensive side of the football has been able to kind of build here. Like the big plays. We have not been able to limit those. I think right now, Chicago, Caleb Williams, and these guys are excited to play this defense coming off of that nasty performance against the Commanders. I think that Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson are sitting back and they're like, oh man, we could potentially have some fun today with Luther Burden, Roma Dunze, DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift in the passing game, that, Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland, if he plays, they're probably salivating, pause if necessary, waiting to face this defense, because once again, they have not been able to limit those big plays. It's been kind of nasty. That big play to Scary Terry, the big play where McNichols ran off for like a 50, 60-yard touchdown. Once again, the Quentin Johnston touchdown. They have to stop giving up those monstrous plays on the defensive side of the football. Also, the offense needs to stop with these 3-and-outs and allow the defense to have a little rest. It would serve you right for your defense to have a little extra time off on the sideline. Hey, play your part. At least, go through 2 possessions on the offensive side of the ball instead of just a 3-and-out. Give the defense a little bit of breathing room. That would definitely serve them right and give them, a little bit more incentive to go out there and play at a high level on the defensive side of the football. Salute the Rube, man. Appreciate you, brother. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up if you're not subscribed yet. What are y'all waiting on, man? Graph, what tree you got pregame? What you mean? What you mean? What you mean, brother? Let me see. Gino's going to have a big game. Berendo, I hope so, man. I hope so. I think that it's time for him to. What is it right now? Berendo, 4 touchdowns, 4 picks. 1 touchdown week 1, 1 pick. The second week, no touchdowns, 3 picks. Last week, no picks, 3 touchdowns. So I think it's somewhere hovering around the 800 to 900 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 picks. I think that this would be a great game for Gino to go out there where he historically plays great indoors. We've heard this all offseason. Oh, you guys got a guy that has a great record and a great track record of playing indoors. That didn't look like that against the Chargers week 2. So hopefully he gets back to that form. Playing choreograph. I see. I don't know what you're talking about, huh? I have no idea what you mean. So to Andy, the quick game is nowhere to be found and is the key to this offense. Talk that talk, little bro, so that Gino gets in rhythm and Genty as well. Tucker in the screen game is critical, but we don't have a quick game. This is facts. And that's what I thought we see a ton with Chip Kelly in this offense. I thought there was going to be a ton of quick passes. Dylan Lowby, find him in the flats, get Genty involved. Once again, 2 years ago, Genty had over 600 yards in the passing game for Boise State. You know what I mean? Like, this guy can get it done. They were once in training camp looking at him as a 3-down back, you guys. Do you remember Pete and his presser stating that we're trying to use him as a 3-down back? We don't want him to come off the football field. And then you see Zamir White out there a ton. You see Dylan out there getting some reps at the running back position. What happened with this 3-down back talk? What happened with, him being your guy, your workhorse? What happened to that? Yes, he had 17 carries last week. I get that. But I don't want to see Zamir White out there at all. How about you take Zamir White off the football field, you activate Raheem Mostert, and you get him going as the running back too if you're not going to run Genty 20-plus times a game. Genty needs 20-plus carries today. Andy, 20-plus carries. Keep Caleb Williams and that offense off the football field. You have to run the football effectively today. Keep Williams and all those playmakers off the football field as much as possible. If Genty doesn't have 20-plus carries today, and I don't care if he's struggling early on, Continue to feed the beast. He better have 20 to 23 carries today. Simple and plain. The end. They've been slowly getting them up there, right? What was the week before? He had like 15. Don't quote me on that. Then last week, 17. They're slowly getting up to that 20 spot. Feed him 20 plus times today and keep Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson's offense off the football field. Simple and plain. That is one of the other goals for this team today. One of those, if you want to win a football game, guess what? Keep that offense off the football field. Simple and plain. S. Dot, my dog. Talk Graphk. If we run Genty or all of our running backs off tackle and gash the Bears with that shit, I'm gonna be a happy camper. If we use a big frame, 6-man line, I'm screaming out happiness in this motherfucker. You know what? S. Dot, I'm happy you're here, my brother. Because I'm gonna ask you, what are your thoughts on bringing up Runyon and Albert O? What are your thoughts about that, S. Dot? I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. I would like to know your thoughts. Do you think we're going to see a ton of 12 and 13 personnel today? A ton of, Bowers and Ian Thomas and some 12, and then potentially some 13 with Albert O or Runyon? Or do you think this is a situation where they're going to utilize Runyon and Albert O in the blocking game and try to get the ground game going? Let me know. I want to know what you guys think. Is this more of a situation where they're going to use them more in the passing game, some 12, 13, or they're going to use them more in blocking situations? Are they going to use them more in the blocking game to get the ground game going today? Let me know. And I'm so pissed today. I had Jalen Warren starting in fantasy football for me and didn't look at my team all week. Didn't realize he wasn't even active. So I just seen that the Steelers won. I guess they won 24-21, something like that, whatever. I didn't even know that Warren wasn't active. I was not paying attention all week long. So I have a big goose egg on my fantasy football right now. Nasty, nasty work. And the thing that sucks is Kenneth Gainwell went out there and had a game in the ground game and the passing game. I think he had like 2-3 touchdowns or something like that, which sucks because I could have played him today and killed it. But no, Warren sitting over there starting, was inactive. Nasty work. Nasty work. Did not play in Dublin today. Nasty. DeMarcus, I think Runyon will have a sneaky game. 1 touchdown. Oh, wow. That's a major hot take. That's a major hot take. Okay. I mean, DeMarcus, I would like to see some of these starters get a touchdown before Runyon, but I'll take a touchdown however I can. But I would love to see Dante get in the end zone. I would love to see Jack Besh. Can we get a Besh touchdown? Would love that. Can Trey Tucker seems like he's like the only one that's finding the end zone right now. Can we get Bowers in the end zone? That'd be great. Can we get Ashton Genty in the end zone? That would be the number one thing to me, is get him in the end zone once or twice today. Josh, they announced he was out at 6 a.m. Pacific. Okay, so that's why. Because when I looked, he was still active. So that sucks, man. That sucks. Salute to my brother Kane Town in the building. Get a few more questions in, you guys, before we get out of here. Once again, we will be live for the entire game. Me and Hammer will be calling the play-by-play. I got to get outside and throw the ball around with my son here in a minute. I promised him today before the game we'll go out there and run a few routes. He's in this quarterback bag right now where he wants to start throwing the football and he wants to become a quarterback. So we're going to see how that works. We're going to get out there and run some drills today. What's good, Graphk? I predict a 50-plus yard touchdown for Thornton. 2 TDs for Genty. Wow. Okay. So 21 points between Genty and Dante Thornton. Okay. I'm here for it. I just want to put some points on the board. I don't really care how we get it done, but I would love to see Dante get in the end zone. That'd be great. I got to hit my guy up too and get him on the show during the bye week. Definitely got to tap in with him. Salute to my guy, Mando, man. Appreciate you, brother. Lil Bosco says, Brennan Jackson, unleash him. Hopefully, man. Maybe he can show up and show out, opposite of Max today, because it's clear that Tyree's not taking advantage of his reps. It's clear that Kuntz is not, completely outside of, he's still inside his head coming off that injury. Somebody needs to step up, whether it's Brennan Jackson or if they activate Charles Snowden today, whatever it is. I'm just hoping that somebody can help him, in the pass rushing department, because Max he needs some help out there. Let me see. Yeah, Timmy, I messed up, bro. I messed up. Oh, yeah, for sure, Hug. For sure. Yes, another thing. Salute the 1 and 2. I love that. Special teams must clean up their shit today. This is facts. You cannot give up major yardage, punting the football, kicking the football off, and also tackling. Finish up your assignments, man. I'm still having nightmares, 1 and 2, of McNichols running through Jeremy Chin, Landon Roberts, and Max Crosby. That was disgusting. So yes, on the special team side of things, clean that shit up. But can we tackle better? That was actually embarrassing to see McNichols be able to stay up through all that abuse he was sustaining from our defense to just run right through every one of them and score. That was to me, if we end up shitting the bed this year, you guys, and we win only a couple more games, that is going to be the memory in my head that set up all this shit. That's going to be the one nightmare that I'm going to remember that created this traumatic experience that is our Raiders in the 2025 season if we continue to struggle and we don't win a ton of games. That is going to be the play that I'm going to remember constantly. McNichols, a career backup, running through our starting safety, running through our starting middle linebacker, and running through our superstar pass rusher, Max Crosby. It's nasty work. Salute the road. Hot take. JPJ gets the O-line run game going, having us establish the run. Great. 150-plus yards rushing in our first 25-plus point game. Rube, from your lips to God's ears, bro, I am here for it, brother. Salute to you, Rube. I'm hoping and praying you are right, brother. I'm hoping you're right. I tried to go get my Genty jersey yesterday, Rube. I was trying to create this, hey, man, maybe this is going to work. I went to Shields in the Dallas area, and they were completely sold out. I was so pissed. So I got to hopefully I can find one in Indy next week. Or maybe I'll just do a quick turnaround and get one overnighted to me. But yes, man, I would love that. I would love that. Hey, Rue, let me ask you as well. What is your thoughts on Pete Carroll during the presser saying that Alex Kappa and JPJ will both play today? What did that mean to you? What does that mean to you? Does that mean that you think that they're going to rotate those guys in and out at right guard and they'll both get reps there? Or do you think that maybe, just maybe, Kappa will be the starting right guard and they'll move JPJ to the left side and bench Parham? What do you take from that with Pete Carroll stating that they'll both play today? More than likely, it's going to be a rotational thing. They'll slowly bring JPJ back from that concussion, and they'll have him and them rotate in and out, and, in clear running downs and passing down. I don't know. Maybe they switch him up a little bit, but I want to know your guys' take on that. 12 personnel is this team's identity, even if using just one tight end in 12 personnel. Talk that talk, S-Dot. Salute to you guys. Salute to my guy, S-Dot, man. AP says rotating? Okay. Definitely think that, but I would love to see them make some changes and potentially put JPJ on the left side. If you're going to keep Alex Kappa in, at least have JPJ starting opposite of him on the left side. So, but other than that, you guys enjoy the first, the early games. Enjoy the early games. I know that all the early games are starting here now. Enjoy them. We'll be back to cover our Raiders game, play-by-play, me and Hammer. We will be live right here on OLV Raiders Network and also live over on Hammer's channel as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned with that. On the way out, salute to my brother Hug. Being in Idaho, we got Genty jerseys everywhere. Let me know if you need one, the Mob Father to score one. I got you, bro. I may have to hit you up on that, brother. Salute to my brother Hug. But no, I'll make it easier, man. I'll just order one online. It is what it is. But I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much. LT, man, appreciate you, King, being a member for 7 months. Salute to you. He said I responded to your question. I think I read that. I think I read it, brother. I read it. The 12 personnel comment, right? Definitely read that. Gibby says, my dumb ass just benched Philly's defense. That's hilarious. Alex says, don't leave, Graphk. I mean, what else are we going to talk about here, man? What else are we going to talk about? Alex, this is the thing, man. there's only so much more I can take about talking about this struggling ass offensive line, right? There's only so much more I can talk about us having to get the run game going, right? There's only so much more I can bash Brennan Carroll. There's only so much more I can talk about this defense and how they gave up 200 yards plus against the Commanders last week. Like, there's only so much more we can talk about. I don't want to just sit here and for shits and giggles, bro. Like, you know, there's really nothing else to talk about. Once we get the inactives and actives, we'll talk about that on the next show. But honestly, man, I'm going to get the hell out of here. Salute to everybody here in the building. As always, love and appreciate you guys. On the way out, wipe them feet. That means get those likes up. And also hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed yet. I'll see you guys in a few hours. I'm going to go enjoy these early games and enjoy playing some football with my son. Salute you guys. Love y'all. Out. One.